Welcome back to Earth Optimism Species and Spaces, Big Cats. I'm your host, Yohannes Lamere, and in this episode, we are going to look at big cats and the role that zoos are playing in supporting their sustainability and species diversity. As the natural habitat for big cats dwindles due to human population's growth, zoos are providing important breeding grounds for large mammals, including big cats. Indonesia, as well as America, has a strong zoo system that is working to preserve and protect endangered species. Big cats are amazing creatures. Did you know that lions are the only big cats with a tasseled tail, and that they use their tail to communicate with their cubs and each other when they are hunting? Did you also know that tigers have whiskers all over their bodies that they use as a sensor to help them hum better in the dark? But most of the big cats are considered endangered, largely due to loss of critical habitat. So scientists are focused on three areas of focus: conservation, research, and education. All of these are supported through a strong zoo system. Let's go behind the scene at the Smithsonian National Zoo to learn how scientists there are caring for their big cats.
Hey, Josh Bernstein here. I'm at the National Zoo.
The National Zoo is located in northwest Washington, D.C. and is home to 2,000 animals. Many of them are endangered or threatened. The National Zoo is committed to the research, conservation, and public education of these rare species. One example is the African lion. The pride of lions at the zoo includes 6 cubs and 3 adults. The adult females are named Naba and Shira. The male is named Luke. 9 lions is a lot to care for. To get a sense of how the lions are fed and what steps are taken to monitor their health, I need to go where they live. So I've arranged to meet Great Cats curator Craig Sappho.
Aha!
Hey, Josh.
Hey, Craig. I found you.
Yeah, good to see you again.
Good to see you.
All right. Come on in.
Okay.
We'll take you back.
Craig leads me through a long underground corridor back to the zoo's lion cages.
Back here.
I'm excited. Going into the lion's den.
And
So we're safe here.
we're safe back here
Okay.
as long as you follow our safety rules. And our safety rules are really simple. We like to stay over on the left-hand side of our yellow line.
The yellow line painted on the ground is there for safety reasons. My crew and I are given very clear instructions to stay on the left side of it, away from the cages.
Come on
Stay
in.
on this side of the line.
Only caretakers like Craig are allowed to be on the right side,
We
closer to the
always,
lions.
speaking of, you have to always make sure that we're...
As we make our way back, Craig
I'm here to
explains
learn
one of the
about poop.
easiest ways zookeepers monitor lion health is
the
through their
beginning
diet,
of the poop
which
has
starts with
arrived.
raw meat.
Yes, we've got our meat here, so
Okay.
this is the meat diet that we'll end up feeding to the cats.
Can I just see that? I'm just curious what you feed your
absolutely.
kid. Nebraska
So,
brand
all beef
feline diet.
diet.
This is made
Absolutely.
for lions?
This is made for large carnivores. So
Okay.
it's lions, hyenas, tigers, any number of large carnivores. It's
That's
got
awesome.
all the nutrient enrichment that we need to make sure that the cats stay healthy.
Today, we're preparing a meal for the lions. Lions are obligate carnivores and eat only animal flesh because their bodies don't make certain amino acids and vitamins they need. They can get them by eating meat.
Believe it or not,
Smells like meat.
probably smells like meat to you.
Smells just like meat.
And then,
But nothing, fairly mild.
and if it smells like meat, you're in great shape. If it starts to smell a little off or rancid and you wouldn't eat it, we don't feed it to the cats. It's great in this
To ensure and maintain their health, each lion requires a specific amount of meat every day. So we weigh each container to make sure we give the precise portion.
And if
Right.
you don't get it right the first time, sorry, we gotta fire you.
Do you fire me or do you feed me to the lions?
Once each lion's daily portion of meat is weighed, Craig does something to it I wasn't expecting.
We put glitter in
I was
everybody's
gonna say, that looks like glitter.
Glitter does not get digested by the cats, so it
Okay.
comes out in the poop, and that helps us to identify whose poop is whose.
Is this special glitter or just regular
It
store-bought
is
glitter?
regular, non-toxic glitter that
Yeah.
you would give to a kid for an art project. That the
Each lion gets his or her own color glitter added to their meat. Luke gets green, Shira gets purple, and Naba gets red. Why, you ask? Well, one of the ways curators can track a lion's health is by analyzing its poop. The problem, though, when you have a pride of lions living in one enclosure is how do you know whose poop is whose? Glitter solves that problem, as it creates a marker unique to each lion. However, Craig explains this problem wasn't solved overnight. It started with some simple research, observations, and trial and error. And then once they had enough information, they began controlling for variables, testing hypotheses, and analyzing their findings.
Keep going. This is hilarious.
That's perfect.
That's enough?
That's enough.
Really?
As long as that will come out in the poop, that's perfect. That looks really good. That's the way Luke likes it.
Really? Okay. Have you tried other, like, corn?
Yes, believe it or not, we've gone through the whole gambit of things that cats are obligate carnivores. So that's something you have to remember. So they don't digest lentils and grasses and things like that. So we've tried like rice, beans, split peas. The problem with those is that they get embedded into the poop. So much like we broke up the chunks of meat, we would have to literally sit out there and break up the poop.
Oh, yeah.
And that gets kind of disgusting.
Okay.
The great thing about the glitter is that it shows up right on the outside of the poop, so we can, even from a distance, identify the poop.
Wow.
As scientists, Craig and his team have planned and carried out an investigation with an elegant solution to the poop identifying problem. The glitter is non-toxic, inexpensive, easily spotted at a distance, and even colorful.
It's kind of like Christmas time.
Yeah, it's like Christmas for lions.
With breakfast finally ready, Craig takes me to meet Luke, who seems a little agitated at the moment, probably because there are strangers in his territory. There is nothing like standing just a few feet away from a massive, growling male lion. You can feel that roar in your spine. It's primal and a little off-putting, even for those who love big cats.
Is that a happy?
That's more just a warning.
It's more of what?
That's a warning.
Warning? Duly noted.
Okay.
Luke does not. Well, I don't know if Luke does not like Craig, but Luke and Craig have a little bit of this tension.
Come over to this side.
He's tracking Craig.
Yeah, he's not my biggest fan.
And I've been warned. He's coming around. I've been warned by Craig that if he turns around and presents his butt to me, that means he's going to spray me with urine, and I should just be conscious of it.
Josh, in cases like this, if the animal is acting well, I sometimes will invite people over. You can cross the yellow line. If I tell you specifically it's okay to cross the line, you're welcome to. So come on across.
Okay.
You want to still mind where you are?
Yes.
But if you
he can't get through this.
He cannot get through this.
Okay. Am I allowed to drop meat in the little piece?
We always gauge the animal's behavior, and with
Hi,
him
Luke.
acting like this,
Yes, he's
I'd
okay.
say,
I'm putting it in.
there you go.
Oh, what if it goes,
If it comes onto this side, nope. If it comes onto
leave
this
it.
side, we leave it,
Okay.
and we'll offer him just a little bit more.
Can I crouch down to his level?
No, we never want to get down onto the cat's level,
Okay.
because when you're at the cat's level,
You become
food.
food.
The food. So we'll drop the last little bit, and then we'll leave him alone.
No, I dropped it on his head. Sorry.
You know
Luke.
what? He'll shake that off,
Okay.
and then we get out of his way and let him enjoy the rest of his breakfast.
Throughout the day, Luke and the other lions will continue to be fed their portion of glitter-covered meat, ensuring that each receives adequate nutrition. To answer our original question, how do caretakers monitor the health of individual lions in a pride? The answer is with glitter. But feeding the lions is only the first part of the process, and since what goes in must ultimately come out, in the next episode, Craig and I head into the lion enclosure to go hunting for lion poop.
And now, we transition to a landmark fertility program for cheetah, successfully navigated through the cooperation of several zoos.
These cheetah cubs represent an amazing scientific breakthrough. They are the first cheetah cubs ever produced by embryo transfer in this species. My name is Adrienne Crozier, and I research our cheetah population here at the Smithsonian Conservation Biology Institute. The mother of the cheetahs is Isabella, but she's not the biological mother of the cheetahs. The biological mother is Kabibi. We use sperm from a male living at the Fossil Rim Wildlife Center in Texas. His name is Slash. And so the parents of these cubs are actually Kabibi and Slash. And Isabella was the surrogate that carried the cubs throughout pregnancy. We worked very closely with the Columbus Zoo and also the Fossil Rim Wildlife Center.
She, in my opinion, is the most valuable cheetah in the world because she successfully carried 2 cubs to term. And this is a cheetah that you would never breed her. You would not want her genetic line to continue. It's overrepresented. But the babies came from the very valuable cheetah genetically.
It's an amazing demonstration of working across facilities and generating an amazing success story. Cheetahs as a species had a huge die-off about 10,000 years ago, and that resulted in a very small, limited gene pool, which makes it susceptible to a lot of diseases and pathogens. The animals in our care are so important because we can study their biology, and then we can use the tools that we have to try to maximize the genetic health of our population. We've spent a lot of time studying the natural breeding of the species, and we've made great strides in improving natural reproduction, but there is still a subset of animals that are unable to breed on their own because of age or health or other limiting factors. This technique gives us the ability to reproduce those individuals that are unable to breed naturally. This assisted breeding technique is a critical tool in our toolbox to improve and maximize the genetic health of all cheetahs.
Fertility in cheetahs is pretty complex. My name is Pierre Comizzoli. I am a research veterinarian at the Smithsonian Conservation Biology Institute. The different steps that we are following for the cheetahs are exactly like the same steps that are used in human fertility. We collect the eggs, we fertilize them in vitro. It's like producing test tube babies, and then after that, those young embryos are transferred into a surrogate mother, a different mother. This is the first time this is really successful, so we are very excited.
This is the science that could save that species in the wild.
All of our decades of research that have gone into improving the genetic health of cheetahs ultimately will help us save the species.
You will remember our guest from the first video. He is the curator of the carnivores at the Smithsonian National Zoo. Please welcome Mr. Craig Sappho. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Sappho. We saw some of your work at the National Zoo, and I think there are some people that wonder why you do the research that you do. Talk to us about the importance of what you're doing now and your optimisms about the future of big cats and zoos.
Outstanding question. So I do believe that big cats are majorly important, and our work here at the zoo and at zoos in general is to try to conserve them. One of the biggest issues facing the world's big cats right now is the fact that almost every cat is at least endangered. Certainly for tigers, every single subspecies of tiger is at least endangered. And as for instance, the Sumatran tiger, there are some who are critically endangered, meaning that they're very close to extinction, the possibility of extinction. So our work here at zoos is to focus on trying to help conserve them, keep them alive for many, many generations to come. I am actually very optimistic about that possibility, since so many people are starting to pay attention to wildlife and how we are caring for the earth in general and how much of a key role wildlife plays in the survival of the planet. People are paying attention and people are doing things to help try to save animals. So I'm very optimistic.
Yeah, same. Me too. I'd like to go to some questions from students in Indonesia who are participating in the U.S. Embassy's English Access Program.
Hi, my name is Miska from Jambi. I'm an alumni of U.S. Embassy's English Access Micro-Scholarship Program and CYP program. I'd like to know about Sumatran tiger and their future. Thank you.
I believe Sumatran tigers have a bright future. You guys, especially in Indonesia, who live directly with these cats, as exampled by this program, are starting to pay much more attention to the plight of these animals and caring about what happens to them. That is the single most important key element to keeping those cats alive, is that people care, especially young people. The next generations coming up are going to be the ones to care for the planet. So I think that Sumatran tigers have a bright future because people care about what happens to them. The optimism that I have is great, and it's largely because of people like you.
Hi, my name is Fakih from Junior High School Wanatar Lampung, and I am the participant of U.S. Embassy's English Access Micro-Scholarship Program. I would like to know what are the most important data points that you are learning in zoos that can be translated to the wild and help to save big cats. Thank you.
I like that question. So when we're working in zoos, we are able to collect data points that are a little bit more specific, or actually a lot more specific than what we can get from the wild, because it's really hard to put your hands on a tiger in the wild. They don't like that so much. Here at the zoo, we have constant access not just to the tigers, but we have constant access to their poop. And what their poop shows us are very specific data points about the physiology of that animal, what's going on inside. Specifically, things like how a female tiger cycles when she's in estrus and ready to reproduce. If you understand the reproductive cycles of an animal, it's kind of like unlocking a door. You start to understand almost everything about that animal. When we can translate that information to researchers or people working what we call in situ in the wild, then we can start to really walk through that door and help save tigers. There's another data point that really has come to my mind lately, and that's a simple thing of getting weights. We can get the tigers to get onto scales. We can get weights on them, again, giving us a really good idea of how those tigers should look in the wild and how they should be living.
Well, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Mr. Safo, for joining us.
Thank you.
To close out our time together, we're going to go back to the National Zoo and see Mr. Safo in action.
Hey, Josh Bernstein here. I'm behind the scenes at the National Zoo.
The Smithsonian National Zoological Park in Northwest Washington, D.C. is home to 2,000 animals, including a pride of 9 African lions. This morning, I learned how caretakers monitor the health of lions by putting glitter on their food, so they can know whose poop is whose in their outdoor yard. This is the first step in the process of collecting and analyzing their poop. Walking me through the process is Great Cats curator Craig Safo.
So now that we've done the food, we've given him a little bit of food to satiate himself. We want to go out into the yards and we have to clean up and prepare for the day. And of course, cleaning up means we have to collect the poop. And we don't just throw our poop away. We collect our poop and save it so that we can do some research on it later on.
Craig and I label collection bags for each of the lions and head outside, while the lions are not there, of course.
Should I close this?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right, so we are in the lion enclosure.
We are in the lion's den and we hunt for the poop. One of the big benefits of taking care of an animal as large as a lion is that they have large poop. So we can usually find it pretty easily.
Okay, so you look through the piles?
Look through the piles. You want to look for, you really have to become a sleuth. You know, you're looking and you say, well, I don't really see any indentations here that tell me that a big animal's been through this pile. So I really don't suspect there's any poop in this pile. We look behind the bamboo.
They could go this close to the wall?
They will literally sometimes sit on the wall and go over the wall.
Way. Okay.
So it can be quite messy.
This is a sick but fun game.
Yeah.
Okay. What about in the water? Can they go in the water?
Believe it or not, they will sometimes go in the water, and we will find it in there as well. So we want to take a good look through everything.
Okay.
For several minutes, we search for poop, which should be light tan and in piles about the size and shape of a hot dog bun.
Got some. Right?
Excellent.
That is lion poop?
That is absolutely lion poop.
And now we gotta identify the color.
Identify who it belongs to.
So I see green.
Green is
Luke.
Luke, you got it.
You really see the glitter. See that? See the glitter in there? It's green. It's Luke. Is it okay if I smell this?
If that's your fancy, go for it.
I wouldn't normally, but I always wondered what lion poop smelled like. It's actually, I mean, it doesn't smell terrible.
And that's going to be very individual. It's poop from all animals.
But I can't smell it like from here, no. From here, no. From here, yes. Like within a couple inches.
Exactly.
If you wanted to know, it takes a couple of inches before you can smell the lion poop. All right, and then just bag it.
Just bag it.
Okay.
And then make sure it's ziplocked shut when you're all done.
There's my sample of lion poop. All right, let's go look for some more. Here, lion poop.
We continue to search for samples of poop to use for comparison later.
Yep. So Luke had a productive morning.
That's good looking poop.
So that's actually a nice healthy looking poop.
Can I break it up?
You can.
I haven't seen, I can just totally smush it, right?
You can smush it up, and that's actually one of the ways
it's really hard.
We can tell if it's healthy. That's actually a nice poop.
Wow,
Yep.
That is surprisingly tough and slightly chalky.
Slightly chalky, that's kind of what you want to see. You want to see it nice and dry. Too soft, is going to mean that it might have passed through a system a little bit too quickly,
Yeah.
and there might be a little GI issue or gastrointestinal issue going on there.
So they're pulling out the appropriate amount of hydration.
Absolutely, and all.
Craig explains that when they're collecting poop, zoo caretakers are noticing certain data points: its size, shape, color, and texture. They analyze these data to help them interpret the lion's health, and over time, this allows them to better manage the pride's nutritional needs.
Cool.
Once Craig and I have collected every poop in the yard, we head back inside to store a selection of today's samples.
So this is where it all happens.
Oh my God. That's a lot of lion poop.
That's a couple of years worth of food.
That's amazing. That's like a bachelor's worst nightmare.
Absolutely, you don't want to come here for a midnight snack.
Yeah, it's like, honey, we're going out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here?
Freezing the poop prevents it from decomposing.
We will take these frozen samples, send them out to the Smithsonian's Conservation Biology Institute.
The Smithsonian Conservation Biology Institute, or SCBI, in Front Royal, Virginia, is where the Smithsonian has laboratories and staff that conduct analysis of urine, poop, blood, and saliva from animals.
So collection happens here at the National Zoo, and then analysis happens at SCBI.
Correct.
And what would they be looking for? What can we learn from lion poop?
Typically, hormones. Hormones get excreted through the feces, so the poop carries testosterone for the males, carries estradiol for the females. We can determine when a female might be cycling, for instance. We can determine if she was pregnant during any given period of time, how much testosterone the males may have, if they're producing, even if they're capable of reproducing.
So beyond diet, you can actually learn quite a bit about the lion's health.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. All right. Well, Craig, it's been awesome.
Great. It's great
Thank
to
you.
meet you.
I'll remember this for the rest of my life.
No problem.
Okay to close the door?
Absolutely.
All right.
So what can we learn from poop? Even though scientists can't see inside an animal, they can use poop to indicate an animal's general health, if it's processing food correctly, and if it is hydrated. In the next episode, we'll explore how chemical analysis of the hormones in the lion poop can indicate if the lions are ready to reproduce, which can be critical for conservation of species like African lions.
I feel like I have learned so much about zoos and big cats now. I hope you all feel the same. Perhaps you might want to be a scientist that works with carnivores someday. If you want to learn more, please visit our website at earthoptimism.si.edu for more information and resources. And don't forget to be an Earth optimist. Thank you and see you next episode.